position in American sports feels the pressure or the weight on their shoulders like a quarterback. Hopes and dreams of an entire fan base of teams ride on whether their signal caller can lead them to glory. And boy, what a matchup of two elite dudes we have in this one. Welcome everyone to the home of the LSU Fighting Tigers, Baton Rouge and Tiger Stadium. As we'll see a participant from last year's playoff, the Texas A&M Aggies, taking on the runner-up from last year's national championship, the LSU Tigers. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by a couple of legends, and yes, we do use that term loosely. David Pollock from the University of Georgia and former Gator Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get down to the field. LSU ready to kick it away to get things started. It bounds through the back of the end zone. It'll be a touchback. They challenge this crowd to bring the energy, and I'd say they're doing that. Rides the back on the option, the give. And a big hit at the end, but it didn't stop him from getting the first down.
When you think Texas A&M football, man, you think running the football all the way back to the R.C. Slocum, a great Aggie head coach. You just want to be the more physical team. You want to be imposing your will. This guy right here toting the rock has the ability to wear and grind on defenses. He brings that physical presence to this offense.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20-yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
Better get that seismograph ready here in Death Valley. Huge third down coming. Wants to throw. It's Reed. Looking to the big tight end. Another incompletion on third down.
Well, it's not quite the start this offense wanted to have on third downs. Their first opportunity, that one falls incomplete. They're going to have to be better on these critical downs as this game goes on.
That's the first one of the day out of there. He ought to be fresh. They only used him twice in that victory last week. That thing was down for a while, but the big bounce carried it into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. He might want another play. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. And the quarterback goes down at the 11-yard line.
This defense, they are tenacious, and they've got guys up front that are athletic and that are so strong and then can collapse the pocket. You saw it right there in that play-action attempt.
The Tigers trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Wants to fire on second down. Caught over the middle. It's Lockett. Several defenders there to get him on the ground. It's pretty obvious what's at stake here, guys. A top 10 matchup, winner, good shot at the playoff, and the loser is probably going to need some help.
Yeah, so further cementing your resume, making that exclamation point on the schedule, giving that committee something to look at and go, here's a top 10 win. This is a big deal for my schedule. Big proving moment.
And that's why you play football for one of these two programs, for games like this, for the opportunity to reach the college football playoff. You knew these two teams were on a collision course. That's the opportunity ahead of you to go get it done in front of a lot of eyeballs watching.
Caught in the backfield. It's Barry. And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one.
Guys out of the backfield now, it's not just run the ball downhill anymore. You got to be versatile. I got to be able to trust you in the pass game, and I got to be able to throw you the football, and you can do that right there. I know you're going to catch it, and I can depend on it.
And this one will be stopped for no gain.
You know when you're playing against a defense of this caliber, you're going to have some sort of balance, right? You can't just drop back and throw it every single play. Nothing going on that last run. They're going to have to find another way to get it going and handing the ball off.
Here comes the heat. Time running out, and he goes down at the 34.
Man, you can't draw it up any better than that. First possession, force a third down. You want to shut the home crowd up, sack the quarterback, create some momentum. Now you're getting the football back to your offense, probably with great field position.
And the punt team able to smack him to the ground. So here comes the Texas A&M offense back onto the field. They just didn't quite find the rhythm on that last drive, Jesse. They had to punt it.
I think they got to be more physical, David. I think up front they got to do a better job getting blocks and establishing this running game.
And how easy does football become if you're the more physical team? If you can threaten the run and then run play action, it opens up the whole offense at your disposal.
The Aggies can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Looking to throw, it's Reed. Safe completion on the screen. Breaks a tackle, and he's got room. Works his way to the 41, and that is plenty to give him a first down.
Great job, too, by the QB there. Holding the ball as long as possible, allowing the pass rush to get upfield, and at the very last second, getting it to his guy so that he can go get the first down.
And the defense makes the stop after a minimal gain. You guys have both played in rivalry games, so what did you do to keep yourself locked in during that week of preparation, David?
Well, you try to keep your emotions in check, but it's really, really hard to do because a lot of times the hatred is so strong, the emotions are so real. The coaches get super tight, and they start talking about things, Jesse, so you don't just treat it as another game.
No, it's hard to handle the anxiety leading up to those games, not just because of what it means to your season, but because of what the fans are saying, what your coaches are saying, what your family and friends are saying, understanding how important those rivalries are.
On third and long, try to convert through the air. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
Oh, you know what time it is when the defense gets that stop on third down. Fist up in the air. Nice job getting to the quarterback, putting some pressure on him, hitting him, forcing the incompletion. Fourth down, baby.
They'll get him corralled and down at about the 19-yard line. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. That last drive fizzled out, Jesse. They had to punt it.
Yeah, they did. And, David, they're just going to have to do a better job.
Breaks into the open. Nice pickup on the ground there. They'll move the sticks for the first down. The Bayou Bengals have been able to put on an aerial circus in recent years, but the foundation, the running game.
Don't forget about the run game. That starts everything, right? Because if you can run it, you can throw it, you can create some balance and keep defenses off guard. But I think LSU does a really good job of always establishing the run game first. Then they'll get to their playmakers and all the speed out wide.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. Leaves it with the running back. And they'll stop him just short of the first down, just inches away from moving the sticks.
Keep pounding away at this defense and make them play the run. If you can get this many a chunk, they're going to have to commit more guys to the box, more guys to the run. Then you open it up for the passing game.
And the Tigers lining up, just needing a few tough inches on third down. Finds a little space. Touchdown, Bayou Bengals. Made the grab and took it on in for the score. Setting up for the extra point after the first score of the game.
And the defense has to be able to do a better job on the back end, tackling this receiver and keeping him out of the end zone.
And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Hey, guys, got a final score in a big CUSA matchup for you. FIU was able to cap off a close one inside Silva Stadium with a narrow victory. And that's the mark of a solid program. Pile up wins, build on games like these, and remain focused on the big picture. Never a dull moment when it comes to football and Conference USA, and that certainly held true again today.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there, Kevin. Thanks for the update. Drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Handoff to the single running back. Defense in the right spot. They stop him after a gain of 2 to the 28. Got 3 on first down at 2nd and 7. Back to throw, it's Reed. He'll try to do it himself. And he scoots his way to the first down and then slides to avoid the hit.
He does a good job of dropping back, going through his progressions. Nothing there. What do? Go get some yardage. Make it positive. Don't sit back in the pocket and force something into a bad situation or take a sack. Great job making something out of nothing.
Wants to go up top on first down. Got it behind the line. It's Bussey. They get him on the ground, and with that, we'll head to the second quarter. Guys, LSU has the lead here, and we've come to the end of the first as we take a moment to check out the stats so far. They are lined up and ready to go and get things started here in the second. Back to pass. Sets up the screen. And that one looked great on the grease. But when they blow it up like that, the defense is going to win every time.
Well, they try to spit it out to the running back on the perimeter of the field. You saw the speed and recognition by the defense, though, how quickly they were able to get to the back and get him down for a big loss.
They are calling for their defense in Baton Rouge. A huge third down coming up. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. Intercepted for the 11th time. Couldn't find a ton of room on that return to that small change. They take over at the 33.
Well, the defense was expecting pass on that one. 3rd and long. They dial up the perfect coverage and a great job in the back end, reading and reacting to the quarterback when the ball was in the air, coming away with a massive interception.
Off play action on first down. Whoa, does he turn that loose down the middle. Oh, it's picked off. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
And that's why as quarterbacks, you cannot telegraph the pass. You cannot stare down your receivers because these defenders, they're watching it. And that defender knew exactly where the QB was going with that football, and that's why he picked it off.
So the Texas A&M offense returns to the field. Last drive ended with a pick, but you still have to attack through the air. Got enough for the first, and he's still going.
Really good-looking run there. This guy reminds me a little bit of an old Texas A&M Aggie great, Leland McElroy. He was so dangerous in space. It was so difficult to bring down to the ground. All 11 guys on defense had to rally to the football. This guy has a little bit of that, too. If they can find more creative ways to get this guy out in the open field, watch out, because he's a home run waiting to happen.
Good, wide open, big play opportunity. Hits him right between the numbers. You got to make that play. Those are one of those where I tap my helmet like, dude, that was me. That was on me. My bad. Give me another opportunity later on.
Effective draw plays in the running game really begin with the quarterback. The quarterback's got to be a great sailor. You got to really make the defense think it's pass. You keep your eyes focused downfield till the last possible second, turn around and hand it off. And by that point, the defensive ends have rushed way upfield, and there's less bodies for the running backs to have to maneuver around before finally moving forward.
Runs through the tackle. There he goes. And he'll take it to the house. He got loose. Touchdown, Aggies!
The defense knew coming into this game they were going to have their hands full. Not only did they have to worry about these running backs in the running game, they had to worry about the quarterback as well. On designed runs and on scrambles, they didn't have an answer for him right there.
And they add the extra point to finish the drive. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. On the move from inside his 5. He's got great speed. They bring him down, but not before a really good return sets up this offense in solid field position. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. One of the most valuable things a quarterback can have, David, short-term memory. Just forget that last pick.
You're dang right. Clear the mechanism. It's over, move it behind you. Some players can't do that real well, and it leads to more mistakes, Jesse. You got to just forget about it and move on.
And I think the coaching staff can help him too, David. I think you can get the running game going here and also give him some easy throws.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. We'll send the tight end in motion. Power football with the run. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. The Tigers are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. They'll try to drive ahead on 3rd and short. That'll be enough for a first down as he crosses the 50 and gets it to the 48.
Really nice job on 3rd down by this offense. This offense has struggled on 3rd downs throughout the season. Not even in the top 50. But you know what? When you make it 3rd and short, when you have the run-pass option and you're not predictable, you can be more successful. So let's see if this offense can continue to put themselves in good positions.
And he's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage by the big defensive tackle.
It's hard to run on a defense that comes off the ball like that and runs to the football like that. Good luck. No holes anywhere.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. Motion from the wide receiver. He's open on the right. Gets away from one. He's got space. Touchdown, Tigers! Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and they put points on the board.
This is a receiver that is so good at running routes. You never know which way he's going to go at the top of his route because he doesn't peek. He doesn't telegraph where he's going. The timing on corner routes is so important, and the quarterback did a nice job getting it out early so his receiver could make the catch and then take it into the end zone.
That one bounds through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. Going to the running game. Out across the 30 mark, down at the 35 after the 10-yard gain. They'll snap it on first down from the 35. Back to pass, it's Reed. Clears the pressure. Working well behind the sticks on second down. Wants to go up top. Finds the tight end. We're at the 2-minute timeout. It's been a good one so far. Opportunity for this offense perhaps to take the lead before halftime. And the Aggies will snap it on first and 10. Looking to throw on first down. Got a man. It's Davis. And a pickup of 8 opens a world of opportunities on 2nd and 2.
Yeah, and you see running backs in today's football, they play wide receiver basically for you, but you got to find a guy that you can throw it to, and you know he's going to catch the ball consistently.
The Aggies with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. And he drops it, just took his eye off of it in the last minute.
And we talk to teams week after week and quarterbacks and coaches, and what do they always say, man? Quarterback's best friend is a tight end. Well, that play right there, he wasn't his best friend. You don't see a lot of drops from him, but, man, he had an opportunity to catch that one.
Rides the back and leaves it on the option. They'll move the chains. Good execution on third down. They've got it at the 41.
Well, they needed 2 yards to get that first down. That's exactly what they got. Great job of execution.
No secret about it. Just got to be physical, get a hat on a hat, low man wins, all the cliches to get that third down and shoot.
Oh, he should have had that one right in his hands, and he couldn't hang on. Typically, he makes that play. It'll be 2nd down. Bunch formation for these receivers. To the air, it's Reed. Pressure coming. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
I think a big reason this offense is struggling right now and why they're trailing on the scoreboard is they have not been able to protect this guy, and it's affected him. He has not looked very accurate. Moving forward, the pass pro has got to be better to help this guy out.
And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up.
I think for the quarterback, he's going to have to be so good with his eyes in this game. You're going up against one of the best defenses in the country. You've got to look guys off, especially when you're trying to throw to your primary target like he was on that last one.
That is no good. And they couldn't cut into the lead. It's still a 7-point game.
And sometimes I just feel like 4th down, man. Just go for it every time. Like the field goal, miss, make, rate. And listen, kickers have improved the last couple of years, but you left some points off the scoreboard there.
First play of the drive comes from the 41. to the air on first down. Got it in the middle. It's Lockett. And he's brought down after a nice gain. LSU quick to the line. Looking to throw on first down. Makes the catch. It's Watkins. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. Offense changing the play. Looking to go up top and time's running out in the half. Catch in the middle, it's Watkins. And he's brought down after a nice gain. The offense down to the 22 on 1st and 10. Wants to throw on first down. Touchdown Tigers! Snagged in the end zone to give them 6.
And how big is that for this offense? Put a nice drive together, get the touchdown, add to this lead already. Everything right now, Palmer, going their way.
Yeah, that was as good a 2-minute type situation as you could have offensively. And David, they've got so many weapons on this offense. They practice these situations all the time, and they put it to work here at the end of the first half.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Dropping back, it's Reed. Unloads to the wideout. It's complete. They bring him down, but not before he gets a first down at the 35. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure.
Rush coming in hot, and they got him at the 29. Just a great job defensively, making him go through his progressions, and he really didn't have time to do it.
And that's exactly what you do in zone coverage. You drop in your spots, you read the quarterback's eyes, make sure you take away that quick stuff, and a great job rushing the passer and getting the sack.
Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. The pass is incomplete, and the clock will stop with 5 seconds left.
Well, the offense is doing their best to try and at least get into field goal range here at the end of the first half. So they take a vertical shot down the field, but give the defense credit. Lots of eyes back there on the quarterback. They're able to break on the ball and make sure that throw falls incomplete.
The Aggies send out the punt team to kick it away. Just needs a crack to get a return. Slips through the line. He's loose. Open field. Time has run out of the half, and he can sprint to the locker room where the orange slices will be a little bit sweeter. A punt return for a touchdown to end the half. And they knock through the extra point, and they're up 28-7. That return man saw daylight the instant the ball touched his hands, and he darted to it and took it to the house.
And Reese, I think it's one of the hardest things to do in football, to catch the ball as all these guys are flying around you, and you got to take it, make a miss, try to find spaces and creases that aren't there. Great job making a huge play. Special teams and punt returns coming up big.
He'll bring it out. It's Watkins. That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. Not sure they had to adjust much as they'll try to build on this lead. Wide receiver going in motion. And And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down, second down coming.
Well, this defense knew coming in they were going to see some RPO and they were going to see some quick game. A nice job there taking the throw away from the quarterback.
Now they'll run the draw. Maybe picked up a couple as he gets it to the 14. Now facing a 3rd and long. Motion from the wideout. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. Got rid of it in a hurry, but he couldn't find his man. It's incomplete.
That is a good omen for this defense. They were getting lit up in the first half. They knew something had to change. So to set the tone like this early on their opening drive of the 3rd quarter and get a stop on 3rd, that should really help their confidence.
And he is knocked down immediately. Brave to try the return, though the coach might have preferred a fair catch. Texas A&M has it back in the offense, ready to go to work. Looking to throw, it's Reed. Throws to the tight end. Working that left side. Good pickup there as he gets the first down, and they'll mark him at the 48.
How about the big fella, the tight end, the wide receiver in a tight end's body going up and making the catch.
Looking downfield on first down. Fires to the big fella. Turning it on. Recovered by the defense, and he's off. They drag him down pretty quickly, but the defense forced a big turnover. And they were channeling their inner Mike the Tiger. Don't you think Mike could get a big paw in there to swat that thing free the way the Bayou Bengals do?
Yeah, and when you're the secondary and you're flying up, great job understanding. The guy's already kind of slowing down a little bit, but where do I put my head? I put my head on the football, get my hand on the football. Those guys, those DBs from LSU really understanding that flying up, making the big...
There he goes. He's at the 20. Touchdown LSU. And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing. Now they have extended this lead, guys, starting to put the hammer, but sometimes a rivalry game can give you a little of extra fight back.
And there can be no panic at this point now. You've worked too hard this offseason, David. They've had this game circled for so long. You've got to play your best football right now and fight back.
And you just need something good to happen on this next possession. You've got to get the crowd back into this football game. Big rivalry. Get some emotion. Get some momentum on your side.
The ball bounces through the end zone, and it will be a touchback. The Texas A&M offense is back on the field. As it turns out, the fumble on that last drive set up the touchdown, David.
And there's no bigger stat in football than turnovers. You turn the football over, they turn it into points. Jesse, that is not a recipe for success.
Good news, though, they get another chance, right? They could make amends with this drive right here. That's all that's important. You've got to execute and you've got to lock in.
Looking for a man. It's Reed. Grabbed behind the line. It's Davis. They drag him down, but not before he's moved the chains, and the screen pass is effective. It's 1st and 10 for this offense from the 42. They'll leave it with the lone back. They'll pick up 4, 2nd and 6 coming.
Tackle is made at the 46-yard line. Second down.
Stuck with a running game on first down. Now here they come again. They'll move the wide receiver. Going to swing it on 2nd down. Buys a little time. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down.
You can sense the frustration building on the field and on the sideline for this team because on paper, they're the better team. From a player standpoint, from a record standpoint, things just not going their way in this game, and someone's going to have to step up and make a play to turn this thing around.
Nice job by the defense staying glued to him, getting him on the ground as soon as he catches the football, knowing he's a threat. I'm not going to let this guy get out of my sights. Nice job by the D.
A famous writer once said most men lead lives of quiet desperation. Here is a desperate move, going for it on 4th down. Makes the grab past the marker. Gets it all the way down to the 39-yard line. It'll be a 1st down.
And they're showing you their intentions early in the game. It's 4th down. You're in your own end. We're going to be aggressive, and we're not just going to do this early. We're going to do this all game long. Awesome execution on a critical downs.
And a nice job by the running back, finding space, getting downhill, making the good run. Great job finishing with his pads.
And the Aggies with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. Grab near the marker. It's Bussey. Makes the tackle at the 27. It's a pickup of 5 and enough for the 1st down.
I'll tell you, QBs and receivers, they practice these out routes all week long, and you've got to anticipate. You've got to be comfortable throwing it before he gets out of his break, and they execute.
A shot toward the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, another incompletion, and you can see the frustration building, but you got to give the defense credit. They came into this one knowing no one was giving them a shot because of their record, because of what their stats are on paper, but they're playing better football. They're playing with better effort.
Oh, he's got some space. Rustled out of bounds at the 12, and another productive play on this drive.
And they're going to need a lot more of this to get back in this football game. They're trailing. They're trying to make plays. I like the decision-making of the young man there. Don't force the football. We already got to make big plays. The defense knows it, too. Nice job pulling it down, scrambling, getting the 1st down. Now you got to keep it going.
The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. Texas A&M back to work with another 1st down. Dropping back, it's Reed. Using the quick game. And he strides his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Aggies! Got to start cutting into this lead somewhere. Now the question, will they have enough time?
But that's step one. You got to get that first score. You got to get back in the ball game and get some of that momentum back on your side. You still got more work to do, but step one accomplished.
Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And the extra point is good. They still trail 35-14. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Gentlemen, just wanted to give you a quick update on a game happening in Conference USA. Sam Houston is in the unusual position of having to come from behind right now, but there's not a soul who doesn't believe they can't pull this off. They're trailing by 10 to Middle Tennessee. Implications galore inside CUSA, and we'll circle back should anything big happen.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. They still have a cushion, but you don't want to feed that hope with unproductive drives. Wide receiver comes in motion. They'll give it to Johnson. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
Yeah, and listen, the offense has had their way, and they've had so much success and so much production. But listen, at least the defense got a rep. You know, maybe this gets you a spark. Maybe this gets you some energy. Maybe we'll see a little bit more life from this defense.
Yeah, they may not win the game, but I think this defensive coaching staff at this point, based on how this game has gone, they're just trying to find things to build off of. Maybe that's something they can point to as they get ready for their next opponent, of things they did right and things that they got to do more consistently moving forward.
This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on 3rd and long. Motion from the wide receiver. Caught in the backfield, it's Singleton. Gets it out to the 21, and that's not enough to move the chains. It'll be 4th down.
At the 21.
One of the things I love about this defense is they just have such great awareness, and they're always communicating. They understood the down and distance. They knew exactly what they needed to do to make the tackle to force the punt. That is so well done.
They're a couple of yards short of the first down, but the offense will stay out there on fourth down. They'll run for it. They stop him short of the marker, and they'll turn it over on downs.
Hey, if you're going to go for it on fourth down and you decide to run the football, you've got to be sure up front that you're going to win in the trenches. They didn't get it done that time. They need to be more physical moving forward if they're going to try to do that again in the same type of situation in this game.
Sweet throw and catch along the sideline. It's enough for the first down.
This defense is going to have to be careful. Not only do they have to worry about this guy running the football, but they've got to keep their eye on him when he runs routes too. He is a versatile back.
Back to throw, it's Reed. Looking for the goal line. Touchdown, Texas A&M. A great catch and run for 6. A quick strike, just as we expected.
Yeah, and quick strikes are easy when you got such great field position. Obviously, when the offense starts in such a good spot, puts the defense in a bad position, and the offense takes advantage.
And the kick is good, but there's a penalty flag, and I think it's going to be roughing the kicker. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. On the run from inside his own 5. And the returner could find no daylight. He goes down. Grab behind the line. It's Hill. He'll be forced out of bounds at the 15, and that gives him some more room to work.
Yeah, and listen, I'm going to move this guy everywhere. He was in the slot this time, but I'm not going to let the defense understand where he's lining up so they can double team him, put him in the slot, put him out wide. Either way, find this guy early and often.
Guys, LSU has the lead here. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. Just about ready to go in the 4th, and we'll see if any drama can be mustered. They had a chance to mull things over. Let's see how they start the final period here on 2nd down. Gives it to the back on the draw. He never had a chance on the draw, tackled almost as soon as he got the ball.
Well, with the defense trailing, they're trying to dictate to the offense now. Really nice blitz call that time, blowing the run play up for a huge loss. You're probably going to see that again. They're trying to find a way to create a takeaway, create negative plays, and get the ball back.
Trying to make that rush think on the draw play here. They stopped him after a short game, probably just wanted to mitigate the losses with 4th down coming.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
And the returner is stopped. Texas A&M has it back, and we say howdy to the Aggie offense again. This certainly hasn't been their best day, but there's no time for mistakes now. They have to execute if they want to snatch this thing from the fire. Really good surge for this offense. They move the chains, and he's got it at the 34.
And in this situation late when you need 2 touchdowns to win the game, everything's going to have to be downfield. So I like the idea in this 2-minute drive, throwing it that way. Let's keep it going, keep our pedal to the metal here.
Looking downfield, it's Reed. Just missed on the connection, incomplete.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open, and that's why that one fell incomplete.
Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
It's always interesting how people handle late game. Like, you know this game is over. There's not a lot to gain from it, but some people try to throw the ball deep and continue to make plays. They throw it short. The clock's running out, and there's not a lot to talk about that's going to be positive for this offense.
Down by multiple possessions, you can't come up empty on this drive. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Fires to the wideout. Catches it past the sticks and still on his feet. Makes the grab over the defense, and they are threatening now down at the 15.
And this offense is going to have to be aggressive, right? Down a couple possessions. Got to continue to get these 1st downs. Move quick. Don't be in a hurry, but they've got to keep the accelerator down because they need some explosive plays.
From the red zone, looking for a space. Can't make the grab as he was looking for his man right at the goal line. Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Looking to fire. Throwing right. Just a bit of a misfire there as they can't make the connection.
And how nice is it to have the home crowd going absolutely bananas? Communication is harder. The snapping the football, everybody being on time. Man, this crowd really affecting the football game.
3rd down, red zone play, crowd alive. Back to throw, it's Reed. He's picked off and he's thrown a dozen of them. Taking it the other way. Return takes it inside the 30, down to the 28 as the defense has him setting up shop from there.
Heat up them pass rushers, bring in them DBs. That's what I'm doing in this situation. When I got the lead by a couple scores late in the ball game, in the 4th quarter, I'm going to rush the passer like crazy. I'm going to put all those DBs back playing the pass. That's what happened. Great job understanding they're going to have to take shots. We get the interception. This one's almost over.
Well, they've got the lead. The defense just did their part, getting a takeaway. So now if you're on offense, you want to run the ball and take as much time as possible between snaps. Stay in bounds and let this clock tick away.
Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. Wide receiver going in motion. They want that clock to run. And the big defensive front wins the battle. No gain on that play.
And after taking a loss on that last run, a little bit of pressure right now for this offense on their own side of the field. They've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but this is a critical 3rd down that they have to convert. They don't want to give the ball back and put the pressure on their own defense.
On 3rd and long, you'll need to push it downfield. He stopped at the 32-yard line, not enough for the 1st down.
Yeah, when you get that man coverage, most people are taught to have inside leverage. So that out route's there if your QB can put some air on it and throw it outside of the guy. But tight coverage, but a really nice throw on that out route.
The kick is on its way. Pulls it in at the 25. He only needs a sliver of daylight. They were playing with fire on that return, and he got loose for a good return of better than 30 yards. So here comes the Texas A&M offense back onto the field. That last drive was promising for a while, but you just can't mess it up at the end with the pick, Jesse.
No, you got to be able to finish drives, especially in this game if you're going to win. And David, they've got to be able to eliminate the mental mistakes.
Yeah, and I don't think you get conservative or play it safe. You can trust your guy. I think you put the ball right back in his hands and let him do his thing.
Pocket breaking down. Going to try to pop one on the screen. No, sirree, not this time. The defense was there and ready for that one.
And I don't like the play call, guys. Screen pass at this point of the game against the defense, playing big zones, prevent, trying to keep the ball in front. It's just not going to work. You've got to take shots offensively.
Better get that seismograph ready here in Death Valley. Huge third down coming. To the air, it's Reed. Rushes on him, trying to get rid of it, and they fail to hook up on third down. The 2-minute timeout arrives, and we have certainly seen miracles in college football, and they will certainly need one here. The defense uses their second timeout of the half as they try to get their act together. Down by multiple possessions, they can't come up empty on this drive in the fourth quarter. They'll go for it on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Unloads to the wideout. Wide open downfield. Good execution. They move the sticks, and they've got it at the 33. A&M comes back out with another first down. Corners showing press. They want to be physical here. Going downfield for the big play. And he makes the catch inside the 10. They make the stop at the 5-yard line, and they've got it first and goal. They'll hurry to the line with the clock still running. Wants to throw again. Under fire. And he will wisely throw it to the kid playing the tuba.
With this situation in the game, trailing with not a lot of time left, I understand going to the sideline to try and save clock, but you've got 3 timeouts in your back pocket. Don't be afraid to use those. You can attack the middle of the field, use the timeouts to save the clock that way.
Looking to throw, it's Reed. Moves away as he feels pressure. And he can't find his man in the end zone as he was trying to pay off this red zone chance.
And you just got to know the situation of the game, obviously. After that incompletion now setting up third down, you still got timeouts. You can attack the middle of the field. It's all out there for you. There's no need to panic. Because of those timeouts, you still have an eternity to get back in this game.
Here's a heat. He was thinking touchdown on the scramble, but they're able to stop him short of the end zone.
We know the defensive coordinator's been harping on his guys about this. Earlier in the game, this quarterback was killing him with his scrambling ability and his ability to take off. That time, though, nice adjustment by the defense. It was almost as if they were expecting it.
And it's caught for the late touchdown. So how about this? Maybe we are set up for a finish.
Yeah, and that's step one. Great job by this offense getting in the end zone. Now you got to go get the stop. You got to get the football back. You got to find a way to do something to create a turnover, get an onside, to get the football back, to get back in this football game.
Here comes the two-point try. Motion from the wideout. Caught in the backfield. It's Everett. He's not going to make it in, and the decision to go for two does not work out. Just over a minute to play. They're lining up for an onside kick to try to pull off this rally. Looks as if the hands team will be able to recover the ball.
Yeah, and this is why you put your hands team on the field most of the time. When you know it's coming, and you put those guys that are great catchers of the football. The first guys, what do? They go block. They go blow somebody up. The next guys catch the football, secure it, get your butt on the ground. And most of the time when you do this, the ball game is over.
LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. Under a minute to go. Just take a knee here and avoid the potential for disaster.
And we've seen it, Reese, very recently in schools that might be in the Sunshine State that decided to run the football and run plays, and it's come back to bite them. So there's nothing wrong, Jesse, with being conservative, taking a knee, taking the victory.
I think Miami and Georgia Tech are heeding your advice very, very carefully based on what we've seen in those recent years. Don't have to overthink this thing. Victory formation, leave the stadium with a W.
He's going to lose a yard on that one. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Backing up on the first two plays, now to try to throw it in drive on third down. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. He's got an open man. And he eluded the defense, and he'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Tigers! As they push that lead out, a really good opportunity to get back in the win column.
It's so nice as a quarterback when it's not just your receivers that are dangerous after the catch. How about the yak ability by this tight end? He's a guy that can stretch the field. He can make DBs miss, and he's got speed. He's a generational talent. He's really helping out this offense.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Looking for a man, it's Reed. Shoots it to the left. Quickly complete. Across the 35, out of bounds at the 36, and a really good pickup as they're starting to move.
Well, this offense has a ton of work left ahead of them here in this 2-minute situation late in the game, but the drive off to a good start. You get the first down, you get out of bounds, you're working the perimeter of the field. That is exactly what you want to do.
The offense comes out needing a score here, down one possession. Wants to go up top on first down. The short hands, it's Bussey. He puts him in business across the 50 into the 46-yard line. It'll be first down. The give from the gun. Still running at the 35. Good execution. They move the sticks, and they've got it at the 33. Sprinting to the line to try to get this one off. Clock's running. On the run, still looking. Blasted as he lets it go. Incomplete thanks to the great defensive pressure there that sort of threw them out of rhythm.
And I understand the logic by the offense here. Obviously, you're down in this game. You're trying to claw back into it. Why not take a shot? Why not be aggressive in that time? They just can't come up with a completion.
Well, will they dial up on second and a long way to go? Unloads to the right. Good route on the comeback, and he makes the catch. Inside the 15, out of bounds at the 14-yard line. The offense looking for a score. The Aggies with the 1st and 10. Looking to pass inside the red zone. Got some room entered to the goal line. He rumbles all the way down to the 2-yard line. He gave him a little bit of everything on that one.
Well, I think you're starting to see some examples of why this guy is inexperienced in a freshman quarterback, right? Obviously, he's thrown a couple picks earlier in the game. That scramble right there, he's got to get down. He's got to take care of himself and
And it's picked off for the third time today. Inside the 50. And he is brought down after the interception, and the clock strikes 0 here in the fourth quarter. Both of these teams are high-caliber squads, but it sort of felt as if these guys had something to prove today, and man, did they go out and do it.
Man, they proved it, and they proved they were better. They thought they were better coming in. We were talking to them, but they had a lot of confidence. They said, we're not ranked as high as we should be, and now they just showed the whole world. This squad is for real. We're going to be discussing them in the playoffs in the future, and they made a statement today, Palmer.
Yeah, that's the thing, David. To me, after watching that absolute beatdown, you can't help but think to yourself, this is a college football playoff caliber team. If they play like that, moving forward, if they put their A game together in all three phases, this is a team we're going to be talking about very, very late in the season.
That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.